Okay, back at you with another video here for the NBA main slate here on Wednesday. And we got a 12-game slate, and we got a lot of injury news we got to talk about, so I figured let's just jump right into it. Last night, I kept it really short, or I kept it small, and I played John Wall and Markieff Morris, as well as John Collins, who all three of them got in foul trouble, so that's how my night went, so I figured there's no point of wasting any time with that. So let's look into the slate for tonight. So we got some big news. First, let's start with the Toronto side. So we got news that Kyle Lowry and Ibaka will be out tonight, and JV as well has been out for a little bit here. So that opens up a lot here. And we got Van Fleet will play. So the ultimate chalk today, it's going to be Greg Monroe here, 4.1K, but probably for good reason. JV's out of there, Ibaka's out of there. They only have two healthy bigs. So Greg Monroe is going to be asked to play some pretty good minutes here. When he gets minutes, this guy's pretty productive. So Greg Monroe, he's going to be the ultimate chalk here. But I do want to bring up one other guy here that I think is going to go very under-owned. And you can honestly pair them both together in a lineup. I really don't mind that. It's Chris Boucher here. So the Flocks, everyone's going to play Greg Monroe, but Chris Boucher is a nice pivot off him if you want to get off Greg Monroe for GPPs, or if you want to play them both. I don't mind that. So this guy, he's been killing it in the G League. He was killing it in the Summer League. He is like a point per minute monster. This guy is a beast when he gets time. And Toronto even said he's going to play some backup minutes here to Greg Monroe. So I think it's definitely viable if you want to play both of them. The only concern is with Boucher is they could maybe run Siakam, run small ball and run like Siakam at the 5. That would be the only concern. But if they don't want to run Siakam a lot at the 5, Greg Monroe is not going to play like 35 minutes. He'll play like 28 or so, and then I assume if Siakam doesn't play any small ball 5, then Boucher will get the rest. And 3K, that's just way too cheap. So that's kind of my thoughts there. And then we got Van Fleet, who is back, and we got Kyle Lowry out. So 4.9K, just too cheap for Van Fleet with his role, with Kyle Lowry out of there, as well as Ibaka out of there. That's too cheap. And then we got Kawhi Leonard at 9.2, who with those two guys out of there should demand all the usage in this offense. So Kawhi, very good play. He'll be chalky. Van Fleet will be chalky. And Greg Monroe will be chalky. Siakam, I don't mind that again. They could run a little small ball 5 with him. So I think Siakam might go a little under-owned here. So I think he's okay. Danny Green, I would rather go elsewhere. And all these other guys below, nah. So it's Greg Monroe, it's Boucher, it's Van Fleet, it's Kawhi, and it's Siakam for me. Okay, so let's go to Orlando real quick. So we got news that Vucevic is out for personal reasons. So that opens up a lot because Vucevic, he's like their main guy in this Orlando offense. So that's a whole lot of usage to go around. And obviously, again, the Flocks, it's going to be really chalky. It's Mo Bamba here, 3.7K. He's most likely going to start. So if he ends up picking the start, Mo Bamba, 3.7K, is way too cheap for a starting center. So I think Bamba will be the ultimate chalk as well as Monroe. But then we got Aaron Gordon, who I think will be very under-owned. 6.9K is really cheap, and with Vucevic out of there, this guy's he's going to be their main guy in the offense. So I think you could give a look to Aaron Gordon. I don't know if I could do it in cash games, but GPPs, yes, 100% Aaron Gordon. I think he has upside at this price, 6.9K. Fournier, yes, he will also pick up some of the usage. This guy's just kind of scoring dependent. So I think I'd rather play Aaron Gordon than Fournier, but Fournier certainly fine as well. Again, a lot of these Magic guys are going to have to pick up the usage. Same thing with DJ Augustine. You could bring up a case for any of these Magic guys that you would want to play besides Mo Bamba. Everyone's usage is going to go up. And then for the backup big minutes, it's either going to be Kem Birch here at 3.5K. I did see 22 minutes against Dallas, or it's going to be Jarrell Martin, who we've seen get some minutes here in the past. So the fact that they have a little more depth behind Mo Bamba, I don't think I'd want to take a shot on one of these backup bigs. Unless they pick up the start, then I could take a shot on them. But I'm pretty sure Mo Bamba will pick up the start. So I think it's Mo Bamba for me, and then maybe another Magic guy because again, all these starters are gonna their usage is gonna go up big time. Okay, and then I wanted to talk about, let's see, New Orleans. Okay, so we got Randall and Mirotic out. So usually for New Orleans, one of those two guys are out. I just lock and load the other one. But with both of them out now this is pretty interesting. So Anthony Davis, I think he's gonna be the ultimate chalk as well today. My only concern is this Pelicans team. It's basically Drew and Anthony Davis now, and that's it. They have like no one else they can rely on, and they're going on the road at Milwaukee, a very strong, pretty good defensive team. So I'm a little worried about the blowout. There's definitely a shot that the Pelicans do get run off the court here. But again, Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday, they're going to have insane usage. They're going to play big minutes. So it's really hard to get off either Anthony Davis or Drew Holiday. I really like them both. Then we got Tim Frazier, who I was kind of off with E'Twaun Moore back. And again, he only played 12 minutes with E'Twaun Moore back. But the Pelicans could run a little more small ball here. They could do like Tim Frazier, Drew Holiday, E'Twaun Moore, maybe Solomon Hill at the 4, then Anthony Davis. So it is possible. So I'm going to wait for a starting lineup for kind of news with Tim Frazier. But with E'Twaun Moore back, it just kind of limits him a little bit. And they got Cheat Diallo, who they priced up to all the way to 4.5K. So I think he'll end up picking this up the start. But again, they could run more small ball with Solomon Hill at the 4 and just bring Cheek off the bench. But he's gonna be asked to play some minutes no matter what. I think he's okay at 4.5K. My only concern is they also have depth behind him with Jahlil Okafor here at 3K. There's reports that he will get some minutes today. So that kind of just limits Cheek a little bit. I would have to wait for the starting lineup. If Cheek picks up the start, then I think he could do it. If he's coming off the bench, I don't know, because I think him and Jahlil Okafor would have split that time. I don't think it'll be enough time to warrant value. So I'll kind of have to wait for that. But again, yes, Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis, love them both. Only concern is the possibility of the blowout. But if the game stays close, I think Drew and Anthony Davis both have huge games. Okay, so let's get into the analysis for the position by position. So we got Harden here at 11-4. Harden and Westbrook, I think they're going to go under-owned here because, again, I think the flocks are going to go to Anthony Davis. But Harden he's in an unreal spot against Washington. They play no defense. The only concern is, again, can Washington keep this close? There's a possibility of a blowout, but the game stays close. I think Harden has a massive game here, 11-4. So you got to consider Harden. Same thing here with Westbrook. I think he might go under-owned as well. The Kings, you can't get a better match. Like Kings Wizards are two of the best possible matchups you can get. And man, I really like Russell Westbrook as well. So Russell Westbrook, Harden, love them both. I think Anthony Davis again is going to be the ultimate chalk. And then maybe one of these two guys. I think Westbrook will be more popular than Harden. So I think Harden, a low-owned Harden against Washington, never a bad thing. So both those guys I really, really like. And then you got Steph. Utah, again, not the same defensive team as they have been in the past. I think he's okay. Anytime you get Steph Curry under 10K, it's a pretty good buy there. John Wall, yeah, 5 fouls against Atlanta, 26 minutes. I don't want to talk about it, but the matchup's not bad here against Houston. Chris Paul, not the same defender he has been in the past. And then Harden, obviously, not a good defender either. So John Wall, he's going to be super low-owned. So if you want to take a shot at GBPs, I wouldn't mind it. Kyrie, I'm just too concerned about the blowout with Phoenix here. It's at home. I can't do Kyrie at 9K. Ben Simmons, my same analysis here. kind of with Boston. I'm just too concerned the Sixers just run the Knicks off the court. So I don't think I can do any of these Philadelphia Sixers in cash. Booker, I'll pass at 8.7K against Boston. He has had good games against Boston in the past, but there's just better value. Like Drew Holiday for $100 less, with Mirotic and Randall out of there, he's going to demand all the usage with Anthony Davis. So I would just rather go Drew. Kemba, he's all the way down to 8.4K after that really bad game against the Lakers. The match against Cleveland's pretty good here, so Kemba Walker 8.4K is not bad. D'Angelo Russell, he had a huge game again against the Lakers. It's just, on this big of a slate, I don't think I can do it. On a smaller slate like yesterday, it was worth taking a shot, but with this big of a slate, if he's not shooting the ball well, they'll give the minutes to Dinwiddie, and he doesn't see enough minutes to begin with, so I just don't think I could do D'Angelo Russell. Donovan Mitchell, just too scoring dependent for me. He did have a big game against Houston, and he did kind of fill up the stat sheet, but other than that, he's really just kind of been scoring dependent this year. So I think Donovan Mitchell, I think he's okay at 7.4K. Let's see, Fox, the whole Kings situation. Can we trust the Kings? I don't know, man. Dave Yeager, I'm still not over that a couple nights ago, but Fox at 7K. Oklahoma City, a pretty good defensive team, but Westbrook himself, not the best defender. So Fox, 7K, looks pretty appealing. Then we got D Rose at 6.7. With Teague out of there, I think D Rose will be pretty chalky here. For good reason, though. He's gonna play all the minutes he can handle. The Kings game, though, was a blowout. So this game stays close. He should push for over 30 minutes. So I think D Rose, pretty good play here at 6.7K. And we got Chris Dunn, who I think will be unowned today. I do like Chris Dunn a lot here, especially against Brooklyn. Oklahoma City, that was a blowout. That's why he only saw 26 minutes. I do think he pushes for over 30 minutes in a close game. So Chris Dunn, I think, is pretty okay at 6.3. Rubio, that price looks pretty enticing against Golden State, 5.7K. I do only like playing this guy. Usually went down when Mitchell's out. But the Jazz, they're going to give the starters a little extra run here against Golden State. It's at home. So I think Rubio, 5.7K, looks pretty enticing. As far as these cheap point guards, there's just not a whole lot to like here. Like DeLon Wright, but he's priced up. He's obviously not going to see the 38 minutes because Van Fleet's going to start. So I just don't think I can do that. Alec Burks, he finally came off the bench. He had a bigger game, but I think there's better value plays. There's better value big plays than value guards. So I don't think I want to go with any cheap guards today. Let's see, so shooting guard, Beal, he had that big game when John Wall got in foul trouble. 8.1K, not a bad price tag, so I think Beal's okay. Let's see, Bledsoe or Middleton, a pretty appealing match against the Pelicans. I don't mind either of them, but I kind of only get on those guys when Giannis is out or when another one of those guys are out, but I don't know. I think I'd rather just pay up for Giannis than play either Bledsoe or Middleton. But Middleton here, the thing is, he's down to 6.5K, where that price is really appealing for Chris Middleton. He doesn't have to do much to get you there. He hasn't really flashed the upside recently, but he does have it in him if he's knocking down shots. So I think Middleton, of the two, of Middleton or Bledsoe, I think I'd prefer Middleton just because he's pretty cheap. And we got Jimmy Butler. I'm just too concerned about the blowout here with the Knicks. I'm just avoiding the 76ers in cash. Let's see, so Bogdanovich is questionable. So that could open up some minutes for Hield, but again, you never know. It's Dave Yeager. Who knows? You might play the starters for 5 minutes again and then just run out the bench unit. So you honestly never know. But Hield, if Bogdanovich is out, I think is a pretty good play. Let's see. So Van Fleet, obviously I talked about him. With Lowry out, he should pick up the start and play some pretty big minutes here. So 4.9K, it just seems a little underpriced for Van Fleet. As far as these really cheap guys, I don't want to take a shot at any of these guys in this big of a slate. So small forward, we got Giannis, who might go a little underowned here. Again, the flocks are going to go to Anthony Davis, maybe Westbrook or Harden. But Giannis, again, Giannis in a really good spot here as well. So a lot of these stars in ideal matchups that might go under-owned. So Giannis looks pretty appealing here, 11-1. And then you got KD all the way down to 9-4. Again, I've talked about Utah. They're not the same defensive team in the past that they have been in the past. So KD, I think he'll be virtually unowned as well. But 9.4K, that looks pretty enticing. Kawhi, I think will be pretty chalky here with Lowry and Ibaka out. So again, I think the chalk plays kind of today are good. The spend ups are going to be Kawhi and Anthony Davis. So that's why I think Giannis, Westbrook, and Harden will all go kind of under-owned, but they're all in such good matchups that GPPs, it's gonna be interesting tonight to see the ownerships. Yeah, Paul George, who again I think will be virtually unknown because the flocks are gonna go to Kawhi Leonard. But man, this match against the Kings, Paul George just continues to get you there every single night, and he continues to go under-owned because everyone goes to Westbrook. But Paul George, I think he's a good play here at 8.9K, and he's gonna be unowned. Let's see. The mid-range, there's not a whole lot to like here. I mean, some of these guys are okay, but nothing really sticking out the page to me here. Then you got Jeff Green at 4.8K or 4.9K, who played some big minutes, 38 minutes last game against Atlanta. So I think he's okay for 4.9. And then where is Trevor Ariza, who I played yesterday, got me 48 fantasy points. I don't expect that again for Ariza. This is a revenge game against Houston's former team. He did get you there with 6 steals. He does pick up a lot of steals though, so he'll probably average like a couple steals a game. But don't expect 6 steals. But I think Ariza's still pretty okay here at 4.5K. He might be pretty chalky because of that huge game, but I still think he's a decent play. Bielitsa let everyone down because he only played 5 minutes. 4.8K. I still think you can do it. It's Dave Yeager. You never know with these Kings. As far as these really cheap guys, you could look at Jonathan Isaac here, who could, play some more minutes here with Nikola Vucevic out of there. So I actually think Jonathan Isaac, pretty decent play here, 4.1K. Let's see, Solomon Hill. So again, they could run more small ball and kind of run him at the 4. You never really feel comfortable about playing Solomon Hill, especially 3.9K, but man, he has like a big game. He'll have a big game every once in a great while, but usually this guy's pretty low usage. I don't know about Solomon Hill. And this guy, I can't even pronounce his name. I won't even try it. He was pretty chalky last night. He let a lot of people down, got in foul trouble. Matchup against Chicago, pretty good. So I think he'll be virtually unowned. And the price did drop, so GPPs, if you want to take a shot, I wouldn't mind it. Let's move on to power forward. So again, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, I think are going to be the chalk. So a lot of these guys will be virtually unknown. Markkanen, I don't want to go there. It's just, if his shot's not falling, look what happened against Orlando. In 28 minutes, he shot the ball 2 of 10 and got 17 fantasy points. He's going to get you there for scoring the ball and rebounds, and that's it. Maybe like a block or a steal, but he doesn't really pick up assists. And if his shot's not falling, he's not going to get you there. I don't really like playing guys like that. And he's priced up to 7.4, so I don't think I can do it. So bonus, played him last night. He did really good in his 24 minutes, but sometimes he's just not seeing enough minutes. So on this big of a slate, I don't think I can do Sabonis today. So Draymond Green, this is just a price thing. 6.4K is just too cheap for Draymond Green. So I'm definitely considering playing him today. The only issue is there's a lot of really cheap, good value plays for centers, power forwards. So Draymond Green, I think will be kind of unknown because Larry Nance here, I think will be pretty chalky. So he had that huge game against Indiana. He picked up the start finally. Finally, the Cavs did something smart and started a young big Larry Nance. I don't know why they try to start chanting Fries. Makes 0 sense. But Larry Nance, I think he's going to be really chalky here. Cody Zeller, not the best defender. This guy's just an energy guy. He's going to pick up blocks. He's going to pick up steals. He's going to pick up rebounds, assists. I really like playing a guy like that just fills up the stat sheet. So he's going to be chalky, but I'll probably be eating the chalk here with Larry Nance. The only way I think he doesn't get there is for some reason maybe he doesn't pick up a start or he gets in foul trouble. Other than that, I think Larry Nance is a pretty good play here at 6.3K. Let's see. As far as these cheaper mid-range guys, just not a whole lot to like. Mark Keefe, don't want to talk about this guy. I will forever now X him out. He played 17 minutes and fouled out against Atlanta. I can never get him right. He's one of the most frustrating players for me. And then you got Bobby Portis, who, again, I think is going to be unowned, but it's just the minutes with him right now. He's not seeing enough minutes, but the match against Brooklyn is so good. So for GPPs, I think it's worth a shot. For some reason, Chicago is giving Robin Lopez a lot of minutes. I don't really understand it. I think they should just keep like a 3-man, big man rotation with Wendell Carter Jr., Markkanen, and Bobby Portis and play them all like 32 minutes. But for some reason, they're giving Robin Lopez minutes. I don't know why. Let's see. Daniel Tice at 4.2K with Al Horford out, but I just don't think he sees enough minutes. Holmes, I always love playing Holmes today, but there's just better cheap value plays, bigs. Okay, let's move on to center. So this will be an interesting GPP strategy because, again, the flocks are going to all go to Greg Monroe and Mo Bamba. So that's going to eat up both the center and utility spot. So a lot of these like higher price centers, they're going to go unowned. So in GPPs, I don't think it's like the worst idea in the world to spend up for a couple centers and then go value with like Chris Boucher and like another value power forward and go from there and just go completely the opposite of like the popular build. So like Embiid at 10.2, he's going to be unowned. I'm just too concerned about the blowout, but the game stays close. He's going to have a monster game, especially against Enes Kanter defense. Cat 9.7, he has upside every time he takes the court. Drummond, same thing. He has pretty big upside. Gobert, he's priced up to 8K. I don't think I'd do it. Capella, same thing. The matchup is pretty good here, but I guess, yeah, 35. He's seen 35 minutes the last 3 games. My issue was he just wasn't seeing enough minutes, but 35 in 3 straight games. That's one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. Capella will be pretty unowned. Nurkic, I love playing him, but I just can't do it against Memphis. Enes Kanter with Mitchell Robinson out of there. The game stays close. He'll be asked to play big minutes against Embiid. So Enes Kanter has huge upside anytime he takes the court. You got Steven Adams against Sacramento, who Sacramento, one of the worst defensive teams in the league, so I don't mind that. Like a lot of these centers are just going to go unowned. So I think, yeah, if you're making GPP lineups, I think spending up for a couple centers is going to be so contrarian today. So yeah, it's going to be Greg Monroe, and it's going to be Mo Bamba as the ultimate chalk today. So let me get into my core plays today. So I'm going to be eating a lot of the chalk for cash games. I just think there's too good of spots here with Greg Monroe and with Mo Bamba. And then let me go to, so right now, let me go with Larry Nance. I'm going to be eating the chalk with that as well. These 3, as well as Van Fleet here, this is going to be the chalky lineup where you're going to see these 4 guys in most lineups today, in my opinion. And then a lot of people will be going kind of with like Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard, and then kind of going from there. I think that's going to be literally, you'll see these 6 guys in most lineups today. But I wouldn't mind taking a shot here on Chris Boucher. Again, the only concern is will Toronto run like small ball 5 with Siakam? It's a possibility, but if they just want to split the center minutes with Monroe and with Boucher, I don't see Greg Monroe playing more than like 30 minutes, so I think the rest would go to Boucher. So I think he'll be worth a shot. And for GPPs, I think he's a great pivot off Greg Monroe. So yeah, and then again, the flocks are going to go to Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard. Like I said, these 4 with Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard are going to be in most lineups today. But he got Harden and Westbrook in a dream spot. Same thing with Giannis. So there's definitely ways to differentiate yourself. So yeah. So I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you have been enjoying this content, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section down below. It's also important to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I will give my thoughts as more news comes out. And yeah, this is a huge 12-game slate, so we got to stay on top of news. So it's really important to follow me on Twitter, guys. And I will be back tomorrow for a slate on Thursday. So I will see you guys then.